Welcome back for more Reddit story videos. Today we have several entitled parent stories for you to enjoy. As always, don't forget to share and like if you enjoy these videos. Without further ado, here we go. My friend's entitled mom wanted me to change schools because I support homosexuality. There was a lot of bad language used in IRL, but I am going to keep it clean. Before we get into the post, you should know some background. I'm in a middle school and I'm bisexual, and I'm friends with many others in the LGBT community. The genders and sexualities are important to the people of this story, so I'll lay it all out right now. I'm in a friendship group with 3 other people. We do everything together and tell each other everything. I'll change their names for privacy. Their names are Mary, girl, asexual, M, Matt, boy, bisexual, MT. And Kate, girl, straight, doesn't like homosexuality but doesn't try to be rude about it. Also ED and EM's kid, K. Our friendship group and 2 other people decided to form a family. The other 2 aren't important to the story, so we will just call them Character 1 and Character 2. One day, Matt texted the chat with a very serious tone, which is very unusual for him, as he is a very energetic person naturally. MT. Guys, I have something important to tell you guys. I can't tell my family, they'll kick me out if I do. What is it? Are you okay? At the time, I was just lurking in the chat as I always do, waiting for an argument as I was unofficially the chat person to settle arguments. MT, Mary, Character 2. I know I dated both of you, and I'm dating you, Mary, right now. But what? At the time, no one knew what Matt was going to say, so we were all worried. Was he going to break up with Mary and split the friendship group? Empty. I like this guy. His name is Jake. He's so nice and sweet. He has a nice body and is super talented too. He's just so... you're gay. No, I'm B. I still like you, Mary. I let out a breath that I didn't know I was holding in and relaxed a bit, knowing the friendship group was still intact, or at least I thought. That's when Kate entered the chat. Kate, ew, Matt, that's so disgusting. You can't like someone that is the same gender as you. Matt, question mark? Okay, don't talk about that. You should be ashamed of yourself, Matt. Sorry. No, not sorry. Kate. When Kate said that, I knew I had to settle things down so it didn't turn into an argument. I'm the only person Kate would listen to. Me. Kate, I understand you don't like homosexuality, but that doesn't give you the right to be rude and mean about it. Matt trusts us enough to tell us we should at least be nice. It took her a couple of minutes to reply to me, but when she did, she seemed calm. Kate, okay, you're right, Alpha Bang 10. I'm sorry, Matt. I thought that would be the end of it, but I was oh so wrong. When Monday rolled around, this happened on Friday, things went as normal until electives. Kate went up to me and said with her arms crosses, Matt should apologize to me. Of course I didn't know what for. Why? For what? I asked her. She blew out a puff of breath before speaking. For being homosexual, it's not what God wants us to be. I was taken aback by what she told me. First off, she knew she was the only Christian in the friendship group. And secondly, she knew I was bisexual too. He doesn't need to apologize for anything. It's his choice, I stated matter-of-factly. Her face dropped when she saw I wasn't going to agree with her, and we dropped the subject. Things were fine until we saw Matt in the hallway, who was very visibly mad at Kate. I couldn't blame him. I would have been mad too if she did the same thing to me. After that, we all promptly dropped the subject, as we all recognized it as a weakness in our friendship. Things went as normal for the next few weeks until Kate came to me and said, my parents don't like you. Of course, I was never on the best ground with her mother because she was overprotective, and I told Kate what she was doing was unhealthy, which Kate then told her mother. I was surprised by her dad though. I had never ever met either of her parents. I asked her why, as to which she responds, my dad went through my phone and all our text messages. He said I don't like these Matt and Alpha Bang 10 characters and don't want me to hang out with you or Matt anymore. I pressed further, so she told me more. You said homosexuality and my parents said it's wrong and disgusting. They don't like you because you told me off and supported Matt. They said that if you were loyal to God, you would not support him either. I started to get mad. Her parents don't like me and want Kate to stop hanging around me because I support homosexuality? I tried to reply to her as calm as I could. Kate, I have a couple of things to say about that. 1. It's not their choice. They are not my parents and are not in charge of me. It's my choice what I support and not theirs. 2. They judged me without meeting me first. They've always told you to get to know someone before they judge someone. But they just did the opposite. 3. It's Matt's choice to be bisexual, not theirs. 4. They can't cut off everyone that has a different opinion than theirs. They can't learn from something or someone if they are never exposed to it. 5. I don't care what they say. It was a struggle to keep my composure. I got madder by the second. These adults are trying to get into an argument with an early teenager. They were honestly being immature. Apparently, after I told her that, she went running back to her parents and told them everything. Kate came back 2 days later with another thing her parents told her. My dad said you were mean and irresponsible and dumb and used inappropriate language. After she told me that, I told her I am in NJHS, National Juniors Honor Society, which you have to be one of the top of your class, have all your teachers recommend you, work well with others, and be responsible. I have straight A's and am pretty much who the teachers put in charge when they step out of the classroom. Also, you curse more than me. I literally yell at you for cursing. He needs to stop judging me before he knows, or even just meet me, as what he is doing is extremely immature. Even more so considering I am 13 and he is 46. I told her, clapping in between the words. That night, her mother texted me. She had my phone number because I used to text Kate through her phone before Kate got her own. EM, look here, you little brat. Hello? Stop talking to my daughter. You are filling her head with lies. You're so stupid and would never understand what God wants. Me, I'm an atheist. See, you're even a sinner. You're going to heck, you brat. You're acting very immature. You're cursing at a 13-year-old. EM, don't talk back to me. Me, don't curse at me. EM, that's it. Give me your mother's number. I am going to get you to move away. No thanks. You should go die. No thanks. I'm pretty happy living. Brat, you are going to heck. Is there Wi-Fi? When I sent that, she stopped responding. Kate came in that day and told me that her family might be moving, so Kate will no longer be able to communicate with me. Luckily though, she is staying at my school this year. Entitled mom tries to steal my game console for her son. Quick recap. My dad wanted one of a kind retro console that didn't exist anymore. I found one on Craigslist, and when I made the trade in a cafe, then a mom and her son came over to check it out. Better recap. This story takes place a few years ago in a mall quite far from my hometown. A little backstory. My dad loves everything retro. He is always blasting old music, quoting old movies, but most of all, he loves old retro video games. He talks a lot about this off-brand gaming console his dad got him as a kid, and at the time he didn't understand it was cheap and off-brand, but he loved it so much. Since he was young and the console was not Nintendo, Sega, or a well-known company like that, he didn't remember the name of it and couldn't find it at any store, even with the description he gave. I, like my father, love video games. I mostly play new next-gen games, but I still appreciate the old stuff. I wanted to buy either an Xbox or PS4. Either one I bought was gonna be so expensive and I wanted to get one cheap. I decided to use Craigslist and I searched up a video game console just to see which console I could get a better price for. While scrolling through, I noticed some retro stuff and I got to thinking maybe someone was selling the console my dad said he had as a kid. When I typed in the description, there it was. Someone had posted one that fit his description exactly. The guy was selling it for about $75. I messaged the guy and he seemed pretty nice. We planned to meet at this mall near his town that was about 45 minutes drive away. He told me he wasn't sure all the cords and stuff were there, and at the mall I could buy a wire if I needed one. I got to the mall and we set up the console in a cafe next to a GameStop. We set it up, it works great, and we made the deal. I'm not sure if this is the exact one my dad asked for, even though it was exactly what he described, but I knew he would be happy nonetheless. Before I started packing it up, I wanted to play a little. This is where the EM, entitled mom of the story, and her 8 or so years old son come up to me. The kid noticed the game I was playing and said it looked really fun. EM noticed me playing and walked over. "Hey, what game are you playing? Looks fun." Oh, I'm not sure. I just bought this console." EM, "How much was it?" "Well, I paid $75. EM, "Awesome. Did you get it at this GameStop?" She motioned towards the store right next to us. I was getting weird vibes even though nothing weird had happened in our conversation. No, they probably don't sell it there. I got it from someone else." She got an angry look on her face. EM, "Who did you buy it from?" I got it off Craigslist." EM, "Not where, from who?" Why do you need to know?" She did not like that. EM, "Listen, I want to buy my son a console for his birthday, but the new ones are all just too expensive. We've been to 3 different stores and everything costs $300 or more, which is just crazy for a single parent to afford. I wouldn't expect a kid like you to understand. Now tell me who the person you bought it from was and give me their number. I want to see if they are selling another one." At this point, I just want out of this whole conversation. I wouldn't want the person who sold me this console to give my number out to random people, so I'm not going to give EM his number. I start packing up the console and keep the conversation going until all my stuff is packed so I can leave the cafe and get out of here. Me, I don't think he has any more to sell. I used Craigslist to find one, so if you just open your phone and... EM, what are you doing with the console? I'm just putting it away. EM, listen, let me just buy it from you. I need to get my son a gift and I don't have much time. She takes a step closer and I start to scoot backwards because I don't want anything to happen to the gift and I hate when people are too close to me. It gives me anxiety. So when she grabs my arm and I immediately pull away out of fear, letting go of the game. She grabs the game and moves it to the other end of the cafe table so I can't reach it. EM, listen, I will pay you for it. My son's birthday was a few days ago and I so need this gift right now. I'm running out of time, so just listen to me. She pulls out her wallet and I realize if I don't start being aggressive, she might take off with my dad's present. I stand up and reach to the other end of the table. Me, maybe you should have planned on getting a gift before your son's birthday instead of trying to steal one from a stranger. She then snatches the system from my hand and hands it to her son behind her so I can't get a hold of it. EM, I'm not stealing it. I will pay you for what you got for it. She forces 2 20s and a dollar bill into my hand and then goes over to my bag to get the controllers and wires I had already put away. At this point, I'm furious. She's trying to pay me less than what I just paid for a console that they don't make anymore, and judging by the fact the Craigslist post was up for 6 months, with no competition, it was safe to assume this was the only way I could get this console for my dad's birthday. I go to the kid and take it back from him. I did it a little aggressively because everything was happening so fast and I panicked. The second I took the console back, the kid started crying, and now the entire cafe was watching. The mom spun her head around and saw her kid and her new audience of people. EM, why are you stealing my son's game? She dropped the controllers and she ran over to her crying child. Later, I found out that one controller cracked when it fell. Me, it's mine, not yours. EM, I paid you for it, so now it's mine. Either you give me my money back or you can't have it. I pointed to the money she tried to give me that I placed on the table. Me, take it. I never agreed to give it to you, so now I'm going to take my stuff and leave. EM, no, it's now my son's console. I could tell she was about to do something like call thief when another customer chimed in saying something like, "Lady, it's not yours." EM looked at all the faces staring at her. I assume she came to her senses because she picked up her son and just left. I grabbed everything, put it in my bag and scurried away as fast as I could. To finish my end of the story, I went back home and wrapped the gift. At his birthday, I gave it to my dad and he was so happy he cried. I got the right one. He was so ecstatic. I found the right one, and the only time I ever had seen him happier was in videos of his wedding day and my birth. I didn't get my own gift, but seeing my dad's face when he saw that I had gotten him a gift and I had listened and cared about him was worth more than any game or console I could buy. I think it's important that I say something about this whole experience. When I talked to this mom, I didn't see a nasty, evil, one-dimensional demon who was just the scum of the earth. This mom was in a frantic panic, and when she said I stole her son's console, I think she truly believed she was trying to do the right thing for her son. Not that this is any reason for the behavior like this, but in the moment I wasn't able to see that this was a person who was a single mother just trying to find a game she could afford and would make her son happy. In life, it's important to remember that everyone has their own story, and it's important to remember in the end, we are all human. Even though some people don't act like it sometimes, I hope I don't run into her or anyone like that again. But I do wish the mom found a gift for her son and they were able to celebrate his birthday happily, just like I did with my dad. You are not selling it, I'm destroying it so nobody else can use it. So this literally happened yesterday, just right before my shift ends. I don't know why there is an increasing amount of entitled parents around my internet cafe. On to the story. So it was around 10:30 in the night and the cafe was empty. Okay, maybe there was like 2 or 3 people when this happened. While I'm doing regular inspection to the computers, it's more like checking if the computers are turned off properly before ending my shift, when this man, which I shall refer to him as ED, came to my cafe. When I saw him entering the cafe, I immediately proceeded to the counter to settle ED's registration and stuff. Everything seems to be in order and ED is very polite to me when I was registering him. Since the cafe was empty, I watched him play Counter-Strike Source. This is the first time I saw someone play CSS rather than esports game. Whatever. When it was around 11:15, 50 minutes before my shift ends, ED stopped using our computer 50 minutes earlier than the time is set. He then asked me something unexpected. ED, yo dude, you want to make some money? Me, if I was given the opportunity, I would like to do it. I knew this was suspicious to me. I mean, who the hell asks you things like that in the night when there is no one around? ED, okay, like this. I would like to buy your computers for my son's birthday for $2,000. That money is for you to replace with the new one. Me, dude, you're insane. First, you are trying to buy something that is 2 times cheaper than what you are offering. Second, if you are too desperate for your son's birthday, why not take him or her to a store and buy one for your kids? And third, we are not selling it. Wait, it's 2 times cheaper? Heck yeah, I would offer you $1,500 and you take $500 as your money. Nope, this is not going to happen. Me, as I said, sir, we are not a computer store. This is an internet cafe. ED, come on dude, it's for my son's birthday. Don't you have any compassion for my family? I would like him to be happy. Me, sir, I don't even know who you are or who is your son or your family members. I don't care about your problem. Even if my dad asked for one, I would still say no. ED, don't force me to do this. Do what? Rant about this? He then pulls out his Swiss Army knife and shows it to me with a very malicious grin. Little does he know that I carried my Glock 17, I have FFL, don't worry, in my holster. I rarely brings it to my workplace, but who knows when it comes in handy. Me, oh, what you gonna do with that, Officer Messer? Kill me? ED, not going to kill you, but gonna kill your computer. If I can't have it, neither others could. He stupidly cuts the cables that were connecting the computer and the CPU inside the computer tower. Lol, those cables are cheap as F, like $5 for that. Before he could proceed to do with every computer we had, I point my gun towards him. Me, stop it. ED glanced towards me with, what are you gonna, oh, flux, flees away. He then runs towards his car and flees away, leaving the half-cut cables. Luckily, the amount of damage dealt is lower than my meat beating. It's only like $15 to replace it and not a big deal to do it. After all, nothing really bad happened other than the cut cables. I immediately banned his ID for any future use and banned from entering our cafe. ED tells me that because I didn't fight for America, I can't be at a military event. People in this story, me, ED, entitled dad, CS, cool son. So you may not know this about me because I haven't ever really mentioned it and never tried it to cover it up by saying I went to England when I was 15. I didn't. So why have I decided to tell people now? Because Reddit karma is better than secrets, that's why. At the age of 16, I lied about my age in order to join the Bulgarian military because I thought it would be cool. 15 of my other mates at the estate joined me, we got drafted to Ukraine to help out, and I spent 2 years of my life bored in a miserable trench with not much to do but fire in the general direction of the enemy. While this isn't the trench I was stationed in, it's a pretty good example of my living conditions, aka not good. I was also on the front line as we were the fit young soldiers. Nothing really happened to me until about 17 months into my service. A tank got its track blown out while going over our tank. 3 people died trying to get the tracks back on because we were under constant fire at the time. The tank was unfortunately blown up. The explosion ripped through the trench, killing, I believe, 20 people. A 14-year-old Ukrainian boy who has also lied his way into fighting for his country was speared by a meter-long shard of the tank turret. The officer mercied him as he wasn't killed by the impaling. 3 months after that, the Russians finally broke through our trench. A first contact grenade throw took out a good chunk of our men, and I've received facial scarring from it. Our entire platoon being either wounded, dazed, or dead meant that a full-on assault went unopposed and the Russians came into our trench and systematically wiped out the entire platoon. I was shot 3 times in the chest and played dead. Luckily, they thought that was enough and left me be. They moved on further down the trench where they were eventually stopped by reinforcements. I was taken away to the hospital and was the only one from my battalion to make it. 6 others later died in hospital. After about 6 months of physical therapy, I was allowed to leave hospital. This was when they discovered that I had only just turned 18 and I was discharged. The men I signed up with, the men I knew my entire life, were dead. The worst experience was when I turned the corner into my old estate. Lining the street were expectant mothers waiting for their child to come home from the war. But I was only one to walk down that road, and I hated every second of it. I joined the war a foolish child, excited by the thought that I would be in battle. I left a shell with facial scarring, respiratory problems, severe PTSD, and survivor's guilt. I know that kind of took an unrelated turn, but I promise you that is very much needed context for what is to come. And it was nice to finally tell someone. So my girlfriend learned of a local thing where veterans go tell war stories and get drunk. I didn't want to go because I don't really consider myself a veteran. I only served for just under 2 years, but she added that still serving members of the military also go and that she was sure they would let me in. After a few days of pestering me, telling me that it would be good to meet others who had similar experiences and a promise that was very convincing, if you get my drift, ultimately meant that I went to this meetup. The first few hours were great. I got to hear a lot of great stories from Vietnamese vets, Korea vets, and Iraq vets. A lot of the still serving guys isn't telling any stories, but I got a bit of friendly with this guy who just gotten back from his second tour in Afghanistan. We complained about military regulations from our respective countries, and he pretty much scolded me for joining at the age I did. It was a good day, and as the sun started to set and everyone got progressively drunker, CS dad shows up. Edie, come on CS, I want to introduce you to someone's name. They are very interested in meeting you. CS, okay dad, be a minute. Turns to me, it was nice talking to you, dude. Me, yeah, see you around. Edie, here's my very un-American accent and is visibly confused, turning to CS. I thought this place was for veterans and serving military only. Dad, he is a vet. He fought a bit last year. Edie, where? In Afghanistan? Were you posted? Me, I wasn't. Edie, well, then how could you have fought last year? Me, you do realize that there are other wars going on in other parts of the world? Yeah, of course I do, but why would you be at an American veteran meetup if you aren't a veteran? CS, Dad, he is a veteran. He fought last year in Ukraine, like I said. Edie, yes, well, he didn't fight in an American war, so why should he be allowed at an American event? He didn't fight for this country. He shouldn't be allowed to be here. Me, sir, that accent, I recognize it. You are Russian. Well, I had fun blasting the commie F Viet Minh in Vietnam, and while I was there, I was just waiting to have a crack at you guys. What makes you think that after your country went against us, you should be allowed here, with people who fought against your kind? Me, I'm not Russian. I was fighting against them, and even if I was Russian, what would that matter? I fought to protect a small nation defend itself from a global superpower. I suffered because of it. Everyone here has been through war, so why should I give a F that you personally have a problem with me? Edie stares at me for a while. Well, my son has been through much worse than you. You should be giving him the respect he deserves. CS tries to cut in but is silenced by a wave of his father's hand. ED, look, I don't care what backwater eastern country you fought for, this is an event for American veterans, as in people who fought for America. Me, it didn't say that on the post. Well, you obviously can't read American as well as you fought. Seriously, you people should learn a language when you go to the other country. Did you learn Vietnamese while you were terrorizing remote villages? ED turns red with rage and gets in my face, which is impressive because I'm about 6'2" and he's 5' nothing. I'm going to get the organizer to kick you out. He leaves. CS then apologized for his dad's action. We made plans to meet up and I got the hell out of there. I had to wait a while for my girlfriend to pick me up and saw ED again as he walked to his car. I saw her muttering things but he didn't come over or anything. I got home, drank some more, took girlfriend up on the promise of hers and waited for a killer hangover the next morning. It was pretty bad. So those were the stories for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, a like will be highly appreciated. It really does help my channel out. Also, if you enjoyed this and want to stay up to date on the latest videos, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening and I will see you in the next video.